What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today has turned into an absolutely beautiful day since it's been raining and snowing the last few days and very ugly out. Anyways, it's been 1 year since I've bought the Grizzly. This is a 2024 Grizzly 700 Special Edition, and today we're going to be doing the full 1 year review. We're going to talk about issues, talk about the things I love, things I don't like, would I buy it again, etc. We're going to go through all that. I'm also in the process of making a video on these tires, testing the cheapest ATV tires you could possibly buy. And the company sent me a set of 26s for the back on accident and 25s the front. I didn't notice till now. So I got 25s coming, and then we will do the test because I don't want to run an all-time four-wheel drive with wrong size tires. Not sure how much it matters, but we got new ones coming. They handled it great, so that'll be soon. Anyways, let's go ahead and crank this thing up. It's been sitting for a few days. About 40 degrees, or a little colder actually, like probably 36. Voice sounds rough when you first crank it. And then I also have an issue with this clutch. Or belt, I don't know if it's an issue, I don't know what's going on. I have never taken the belt out or maintained anything there. So here soon we'll be taking that cover off, servicing the primary clutch, inspecting the belt and all that good stuff before riding season really takes off. So stay tuned for that. We'll be making a full video on that. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out into a better spot. Watch out for all my surroundings. Hear that noise, it goes away when the machine gets warmed up, so I'm not 100% sure what it is. When I went low. A deer out there. Let it take flies. Regardless, we have 2,697 miles, 138.5 hours, and I think that's pretty much all you need to see there. Service 91 miles ago.
Come on now, dog.
Anyways, so I bought this machine on March 15th of 2024. It's currently March 17th, so we're just past a few days. March 17th of 2025. Now, in the entire year that I've had this machine, I've got some good experience with it now. It has been abused relatively hard, not near as hard as my Hondas have been. You can watch videos on the Honda and see what I'm talking about, and you can watch some videos on this, but I don't show everything. Most of the abuse this thing saw was probably about 1 in the morning with a couple buddies. That's about it. Other than that, the worst thing it ever did was plow all winter, and I was pretty rough on it, as you may have seen in some of my videos also. Damn. Right through the center of my damn plow. I'm not very easy on it when I'm plowing. I play hard at everything. So this thing's been put through the ringer, and I'll go ahead and say right off the bat, I haven't had any breakdowns, no repairs whatsoever in the 2,700 miles. I've had some minor things, and in some of my other videos I might have complained about them, and I might have been too hard on the Grizzly for it. Most of it was all minor, you know, fit and finish things, like that bolt falling out of there, this shock mount, the bolt right there on top was loose, backed out. I caught it in time. Really, just stuff like that. Things coming loose. But I haven't had any issues. Nothing broke yet. I've never done the diff brace, which I will probably end up doing because I've come to like the Grizzly, and I'll probably actually end up keeping it now. But the diff still looks straight. All the axles are in good shape. Everything has stayed pretty nice. I do have like a slight oil leak around that Looks like it actually slowed down or stopped. I had a coolant leak, and it kind of fixed itself too. I never did anything to it, so it kind of went away. But yeah, overall, no issues. I did crack these floorboards, and that's one thing people said was going to happen with these Grizzlies, is the floorboards are crappy, and I can agree. Another thing is these plastics are not near as tough as Honda plastic. You can see right there, it's got a nice, that's a crack. I just filled it up with dirt. I don't even know how that happened. I think I was going through the woods and I might have clipped a tree, but my Honda's been tossed off a cliff and rolled end over end. There's a white rabbit. Been thrown end over end, etc. Thrown in mud holes, rolled on its side, flipped over, through the woods. Just a complete series of abuse on the Honda. And the plastic on it never broke until it got tossed end over end. It finally broke up here. But never any cracks like that. I think the floorboards don't even have any cracks in them yet, which is really amazing. Overall, this plastic is still super nice. The silver, I kind of wish this whole machine had more silver on it, or they flipped it, because the black, it's really filthy right now. This thing's normally not this dirty, but this black is pretty scratched up back here, just from my feet and stuff like that. So if they would have flipped that around, it would have been nice, because I don't think the silver would show scratches very bad at all. The paint colors are beautiful on these Grizzlies. Absolutely love it. They come with these beautiful wheels on the special edition model and the XTR. I did have the 27-inch Zillas on here from the factory. I swapped to these 27 1014 Tusk Megabytes. I like them so far. I've got about 1,200 miles on them, and they haven't even wore down at all. They're just a lot better for the kind of riding I do. They don't throw rocks near as bad. The Zillas were putting a bunch of nicks back here just from throwing rocks up here. That's along with one of the other problems I had at the Grizzly I didn't like, was the coverage. These tires it comes with really cover you with crap. See all that stuff right there, that mud? Well, you see how it's not filthy right there? It's because my leg is filthy from being right there. But like I said, there's a bunch of minor things to complain about. We're not here to just solely complain, so I'm going to go ahead and go real quick over everything I did to it. I did the Warren, what is it, the VRX 3500, 35S winch is what they call it. So it's got the synthetic in it. Love that winch. I had the same one on my Honda Rubicon. Amazing winches. Never have any issues out of them. They just work perfect all the time. Like I said already, I swapped the tires. 27 1014 Tusk Megabytes. I did the Roto Packs mount. This is a water can, but I didn't like the red gas cans, and I figured this is the same plastic. And so far, it worked perfect for gas. It's got the non-safety lid too, which is really nice. I'll go ahead and lift it off here and show you my mount. This is kind of what I come up with. This is a piece of galvanized steel from doing a carport, like to mount carports, garage doors and stuff. So I just had it. It fit on the racks. I used the U-bolts that come with this to mount it to the racks. To the rack, excuse me. And then I mounted this to that. So it's kind of ugly when the fuel pack's not on there. It's not terrible. You know, you probably could paint this black. And there's several different ways to do it, but nobody ever had a video online. I don't know how anybody else did it. This is just what I did. Drilled the holes in that plate, put this on. Now my thing fits on there perfectly. Love it. Haven't had any issues out of it. The next thing I did was I put this AD clutching customized billet Grizzly shifter. He actually sent it out to me to test and put it on, and I really love it. So if you guys want one, get it, go online, type in AD clutching, you can find one. I don't remember what he's charging for those things, but they're pretty nice. Nice little touch. I did do the ODI Rogue lock-on grips. I'm pretty sure this model of grip has been discontinued. I'm sure there's some other ones, which I want to try a new one because they're probably better than these. These like to get a little bit sticky in the summertime, and this one's kind of loose. It's just been loose from day one. I don't know if I need to take it off, put it back on right or not, but I had the Garmin Montana 700i, and I have this wired in directly. Yamaha has a nice place for accessories right up here that you can just wire directly into. That's what I did. So we've got the Garmin here, the mount. It'll charge it while I'm riding. As soon as you turn the key, it sends power to it. Just put a nice little receiver in there to pull with. I did this Yamaha box, which, ooh, Gross. Absolutely needs clean. That is disgusting. It's pretty bad. You just go riding and you get nasty and you don't think about cleaning this out. Anyways, so that's the factory Yamaha box. I also have the, I think I got it from AD Clutching. I'm pretty sure. Might be a Hunter Turnco tip though. I don't remember. Anyways, I got the custom tip. It's not on there right now. It made it sound a lot louder. Pretty cool. I just didn't like the noise for my kind of riding. You know, I just go up and down the road and stuff and up the Forest Service, so I didn't want to be too loud. In the future, I might put it back on. I might actually tune this thing, do the diff brace, do all that stuff, the custom air box, all that, just because I want to. Because I really like this thing now. But that's another thing. After a year, I've never done anything to the intake, because that's a common problem people like to talk about, is these things let dust by. Why ride in the dustiest conditions possible here in Montana in the summer? It gets so dusty. The roads are just terrible. So most of that 2,700 miles was in pure dust. And actually, now that I think about it, I probably need to check the air filter. I'm pretty sure I've never changed the air filter on this thing. God, I hope I have. I don't know. But anyway, I never had an issue yet, to say the least. Probably should pull it off and actually check that and see what it looks like in there. I've changed the oil a few times. The first one I did, the 10W40 from Yamaha. The second time I did 1540 Rotella T4. And the third time, right before winter, I switched to Rotella T6, 5W40, full synthetic. That's just what I like to run. I've run it and everything for years, never had any issues. It's a lot cheaper. And yeah, so that's what we've done. Before I give you my complaints, I'll really quickly go into the things I love about the Grizzly. This is kind of a pro and a con, is the racks. I really like the new Can-Am style racks with all the what do they call it? The Can-Am, the links. Well, I can't think what it's called right now. I think it's the links. What do they call that? I don't know. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. I do like the new Can-Am style racks. I like the Honda Pro Connect. But something about having a nice steel just bar rack like this is super nice. The way it looks. These look better in my opinion. And Yamaha does a very nice powder coat job on these. Very durable. Great. Another thing I love about this machine is the styling. Very beautiful. I think it's one of the better looking machines you can get. I really liked the way the Can-Ams looked until 2025. The new ones are pretty gross looking in my opinion. Not to say that's not what I'm about to buy next, but we'll see. I love the belt drive. You know, I've had Hondas forever, foot shifts, DCTs, and I love the Honda transmissions, but there is something nice about just throwing it in and going. I've never had any issues so far besides that noise I showed you in the beginning of the video. Like I said, we're going to pull it off, maintain it, which I was hoping I wouldn't have to do already at this point. You know, it's only got 2,700 miles on it. It's a year old. Shouldn't have to touch the belt yet, I wouldn't think. But who knows? Maybe I got something in there. I don't know. You never know until you take it apart. So that's a little bit premature. But overall, I love the transmission. The shifting isn't as smooth as everybody made it sound. The new Can-Ams are definitely a lot smoother than that. And that's from my personal experience riding both. The Can-Am shifting is way smoother and way nicer. Another thing I love about the Grizzly is the, what would this be called? The user interface? What would you call this? I love the functionality of everything when you're sitting on it here. I like having this storage, super handy. This is the Can-Am 700 and all the other ones have super nice storage here too, but it's not as nice as the Grizzlies. They do have, I guess they have plugs inside of them, which is nice. But this one offers a lot more space, and I just like the way it feels better. I love the big dash being right here instead of like the Can-Am being up there. I like it right here where you can see it. Everything's really nice and visible. The nice big buttons right here, easy to get to. The headlights, very simple. Kill switch, override for if you're using diff lock. Start button, self-explanatory. Your winch controls right here. And then the best part about the Grizzly compared to Can-Am, Polaris, everybody else, boy, I'd say even Honda. I don't know, Honda does it pretty much the same. And Suzuki, I don't remember if Suzuki does it like Honda or like Grizzlies, but the four-wheel drive switch is by far the best you can get. You push a button, flip this to get diff lock, push another button. That is the best system. The Can-Am, I don't like how it's just a little tiny rocker here that you can easily bump. And plus, it looks like if you just catch something on it jumping off, you're going to break it. So, this is one of my main things I like. I also am a huge fan of the separate brake levers. That's one thing riding a Can-Am that might take some getting used to. but I do love the individual brake controllers. The 12-volt plug here would be cool if they would put it inside of here. Then again, not really a deal breaker. You got the storage right here. I need to wash out as well, but decent little storage. Don't really use it too much except for empty cans of soda. I like the gas fill location a lot better than up here, which most modern ATVs are all back here. I actually don't know of anybody that has it up in the center anymore. So that's nice. And while I'm on that subject, that is one problem I did have with this very early on that I didn't mention. I was riding up the mountain one time and it shut off on me just for no reason. And then it wouldn't start back. It kept cranking up, dying, running like crap. And I was pretty worried then that it was going to leave me stranded. I didn't know what it was. So I posted in the group, and people were like, oh, it could be a fuel pump. Some people were saying vapor lock. I had a lot of different things. Anyways, it never did crank back until I just took this off. I put a little bit of fresh gas in there, and it wasn't low on gas, but I just topped it off with this, and then it cranked right out and ran perfect. So I'm assuming it was just vapor locked, something weird. It was a hot day. It was working hard, high elevation, and the cool gas going in there really made it run again. But still, that was kind of an unnecessary hiccup. Besides that, like I said, no issues whatsoever. Another thing I really love about the Grizzly compared to, let's say, a Can-Am or a Honda or any of the machines I've ridden so far is how light it is. This thing's really lightweight, and you can feel it. When you want to wheelie this thing, it's easy to wheelie. When you want to fly up a narrow trail and cut tight corners, to me, it just feels way nicer than a Can-Am for that. It's just way sporty, more sporty feeling. This definitely has more of a sport utility feel to it than just a hardcore utility machine, and I like that about it. I can only imagine what it'd be like if I put it on smaller, narrower tires. It'd probably be pretty amazing. The power steering on these Grizzlies is, in my opinion, probably the best out there. I know they updated it in 2025. Of course, the year after I buy this, they changed the power steering and lowered the price $1,000. Don't know why they did that, but it is what it is. I think that's about it for the things I love. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. You know, looks, performance. Overall, I love this machine. I actually love it more now than I did when I bought it. This thing, I don't know. I absolutely love it now. It just feels tough, if that makes any sense. Because I'm super hard on stuff, and I've went up the mountain in this thing, four-wheel drive, high range, just wide open for 30 minutes straight, and no issues with anything besides maybe that belt, whatever's going on over there. Grizzly. Nope. I don't know. It hasn't, like I said, hasn't been abused like the Honda, but it's been worked hard. 2,700 miles, no issues. I'm impressed. It just feels tough. I love the four-wheel drive system. When you engage it, it's like the best, quickest, most responsive four-wheel drive system I've ever operated. Plowing snow, it did great. Never even put chains on it. Plowed heavy, wet snow. You know, a lot of powder stuff. It plowed very good this year. Yeah, it's just a great machine overall. Another thing I love that I never thought about or never knew was that these are tuning forks. Because Yamaha was originally an instrument company, which I knew that, but originally an instrument company. They started making motorcycles. I don't remember all the details, something to do with the World War. But here they are now. You can see that's tuning forks on the emblem. So that's cool. Now it's time for the things that I dislike about the Grizzly. The first thing is the value. For what you get, right? A lot of people say you pay for reliability, which I'm starting to believe that now because this thing has been reliable overall. Honda, you're definitely paying for reliability because a 520 Rubicon is like pretty much the same as these, which is really crazy. My dad bought one. He actually has a 24 Deluxe Rubicon, and his cost the same as this did. So, you know, it depends on the dealer, the deal you get, when and where you buy it. This one I paid $13,300 or $13,200 out the door with a winch, and that was it. Just added a winch, 3,500 pound winch. So between that and the winch, $13,200 seems a little high. You know, I guess the dealer, they weren't really being too nice. It was a good dealer, good experience. And they did give me $500 off supposedly, but you know, what does that really mean? I didn't even pay tax on this either because I live in Montana. But I think my dad's 520 Rubicon was 13 something as well. Anyways, the main point of the value thing I was trying to say is for that much money, 13.2, we'll call it. We'll say you get the winch because I did, right? But that was aftermarket, add into the price. You don't get the bumper. All you get's this plastic. I mean, there's metal behind it, but you don't get any protection of your grill, your headlights, anything. No protection up front. You get no protection in the back. You get pathetic plastic skid plates. You get no protection underneath the floorboards. I'm trying to think. I'm kind of comparing this to the Can-Am because that's my friend bought a 24 Can-Am a couple weeks after I bought this, and it was pretty much $2,000 cheaper, and he got the 700 Pro HD, whatever they call it, HD7. He got, I had to yell at my dog chasing deer. Anyway, he got the HD7, the hunting edition, the camo one, and I'm pretty sure it was about $2,000 cheaper, and it come with a winch, come with A-arm protection, the dynamic power steering modes, the throttle control modes, the just engine brake modes, I don't know. He had a lot of different stuff. Way more nice spots for accessories, and I don't know. Seemed like for $2,000 less, you got a bit more stuff on it. Oh, yeah, the nice full bumper. You know, I don't know. A lot of stuff that you have to add to this to be that nice. Then again, Yamaha's been around a long time. They've been making machines. They've been doing a good job at it for a long time. So you are doing kind of like you're doing with a Honda. You're paying for the name, paying for that quality and what you get. And somehow this thing's still a good machine, good quality, even though it had all those weird inconveniences, which might have just mainly been dealership, you know, build quality. And the dealer I bought it from didn't assemble it because they transported this from another dealer because they didn't have it in stock. But another dealer did, so they traded an XTR for this so I could get this. I also had issues with the wiring up here, making noise when I turned, so I zip tied it, and that solved that problem. Another thing I don't like while I'm on the subject is the style of dipstick. Very dumb, not being a threaded dipstick, just sitting in there. I just don't like it. I feel like it's not very sealed from the weather, and if you're riding any water, I'm a little bit nervous about it, which I don't ride in deep water anymore like I used to back in my Honda days. That cover goes on super nice. Another thing I don't like is the seat. The seat's pretty comfortable. I'd say it's less comfortable than a Honda seat. The main thing I don't like about it, though, is that it just sits there. It just sits into some grommets. It doesn't have any latch. So I've seen people lose their seat down the highway. I've seen people that ride in deep water, their seat floats away. It feels like it's on there super good to me. But this machine's pretty much brand new and never been taken on and off 100 times. Your battery's up here under this cover, which is nice. Fuses, all that's up high and dry. One major thing I forgot to mention that I don't like about this thing compared to the Can-Am now, I mean, not the old Can-Ams, but the new Can-Ams, is the maintenance. My God. You know, my Honda, I'm used to just grabbing a 10 millimeter, and I don't remember what the drain plug is. A 10 millimeter, maybe an 8 millimeter, and a 15, and you can change the oil, service the diffs, you name it, by taking one piece of plastic off, and you're done in 30 minutes. This thing, my word. Different size Allen key for the front and rear diffs. You got to take a bunch of plastic out, different size bolts. I'm pretty sure there's 10s and 12s and an Allen key. Yeah, there's like different sizes everywhere just to take that piece of plastic off to get to your oil filter. And then, you think that's bad. Oh man, it's just a lot. It's not terrible, but when you work on a Honda that you just remove the whole thing and you get to everything in 2 seconds, this feels bad. And then plus, the new Can-Ams, the Gen 3s, they just have that plastic. You just flip a switch, pull it off like the Skidoos. It's super nice. Love it. So, yeah, that's one complaint. Overall, I'd have to say I'm happy. And if I do it again, or would I do it again? I'd say I would. I actually thought about trying to trade this in for a 25 Grizzly. I really want to buy a new Can-Am 1000 XTP, but thinking about it, I was like, I don't know. I'd like to eventually, but until I'm a multi-millionaire, it's really not necessary for me to spend that kind of money on an ATV, because what I do is mainly just, you know, a little bit of utility work and a lot of trail riding, a lot of playing in mud, you know, a little bit of crazy stuff here and there. So I don't know that I really need that much power. I don't know. I'd probably want to add one. I'd be like, yeah, I need that much power. I also want to buy a snowmobile, so I'm probably not going to go drop 16, 17, 18,000 on a new four-wheeler. But depending on when I pull that apart, if that clutch is destroyed and I need to put money in this thing, and, you know, we'll see, then I might trade it in. I'd like to get a 25 Grizzly. Why not? You know, new one every year. That's what I used to do. But we'll ride this one, and might keep it, might not. We don't know. It's hard to say with me what I'll do. But hopefully that's nothing major in there, and I hope it doesn't change my mind about how reliable this thing's been. I hope I just take it apart and I just clean it and put it back together and it's all good. If the clutch is damaged or the belt's going bad already, then everybody needs to shut up about how reliable and great the Yamaha Ultramatic is, because in my opinion, it's not that good. They put a 10-year warranty on it, and then if it has an issue already in a year and 2,700 miles, and, oh, you should maintenance it. Well, I'm sorry. I'm just used to the Hondas. I don't have to maintain ever. But, I mean, that's CVT. Pros and cons of a CVT. So, not too big of a deal. We'll pull it apart. I'll make a video on it, and we'll see what happens. Now, the fuel economy on this thing's pretty good, too, for being a 700. I say that it's completely empty. But, you know, I ride a lot of miles and go fast, and I've gotten over 120 to 130 miles on a tank before. You know, that's like me being pretty easy on it. When I was plowing, you know, I've used like 2-3 tanks of fuel in the last 100 miles probably. But I did a lot of plowing in that and a lot of hard snow riding up mountains, which is hard on it and uses a lot of fuel. Let's crank it up. So you can see the headlights on this are very beautiful as well. You got the nice LEDs down low. You flip the high beams on, they get brighter in the top. It's a halogen. Don't know why it's halogen. Not a fan of that. Not bad. Not bad at all. It is a little bit squatted because I had the front end turned all the way up to the stiffest setting because I had the plow on there. So I could probably adjust that back soft. But I don't have the tool. I used a pair of ice strips last time and it was a pain in the butt. I'm going to try and get the tool before I change. The top speed on this wonderful machine is 62 miles an hour, for anybody wondering. Once you tune it and all that crap, I don't know how much it changes. But if I end up keeping this machine, or if I get a 25 Grizzly, then we might end up talking to Andrew over at AD Clutching and maybe do some clutch work and maybe some tuning and all that good hoopla. I'd like to. I mean, it's got a lot of power, but the Can-Am 700 is a lot faster. You know, regardless of what anybody says it is, driven both. Top speed on the Can-Am is like 65, I think. But the get up and go on it's a lot more. It doesn't feel like this one. See how it's just real jumpy? The Can-Am doesn't feel that way. When you stomp on it, it's just real smooth acceleration. And now that I just now thought of it, I'll add this too. One thing I love about the Can-Am is the throttle. I like the electronic throttle because it's super just easy, and once you get used to it, it's so nice. This right here, if you go and you don't ride all winter, when you get back on here, you notice your thumb gets sore after a while of holding this down. Still plenty of power. I'm going to work on cleaning this mess. That noise goes away after you ride it for a while. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. Let's pull this thing over there and go check the air filter. I don't remember if I ever changed it or not. I don't know that excuse me, I don't know that I ever did, to be honest. Here's the old Big Bear I'm fixing up. If you guys ever missed the video on that, you have to go check it out. We're going to paint the racks, and I got a Yamaha emblem on the way. Going to see if I can put the Grizzly headlights in here with the LEDs, because they look the same. But yeah, this is a beautiful machine. We'll make a video comparing this to that here one of these days. Wow, this is a real beauty here. Let's see if it'll start. You can't beat it. The old Yamahas, man. You can see right here, August of 23. I bought this thing in May of 24, but it must have been a pretty early build, 24, and been sitting for a while. This air filter is a little bit harder to get to than a Honda. I need to quit complaining about everything. Let's pull this off. I don't know what all that is, if that's oil or water or what that is, but it shouldn't be water. I assume it's just filth. Yeah, gosh, I don't know if I ever changed it or not. It's actually not that filthy. It ain't as bad as it looks. Probably should get a new one on the way before riding season. I'm kind of curious to pull it off and see what it looks like under there. I'll deal with that later. Anyways, that's the airbox. Filthy. It's got something, a little bit of oil on there. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below what you think. Would you buy a Grizzly? Would you buy something different? They need to update them. They need to make an 850. Or do they need to just leave it like it is, untouched? Thanks for watching. Plenty of videos coming in the future. Big Bear versus Grizzly. See you in the next one.